Oh, what an amazing week for karma. Our radical athletes that keep kneeling, keep losing, and now one more hit to the radical left movement. Barbara Boxer, the horrible senator from California, retired now, the one who's responsible for so many horrible policies that have hurt California for so long, was mugged, pushed, and assaulted outside of her Oakland apartment just the other day. Oh, she cried, "I'm a grandma, why is this happening to me?" Now, we don't want to laugh too much, or do we? But we do want to point out that it's hilarious that the radical left is now starting to barely suffer the consequences of their horrible policies. The same consequences that people, citizens, business owners, and people that live in low-income neighborhoods have had to deal with for decades. Barbara Boxer is shocked because she has security, she has a gated building, she has all the things she wants to take away from you. Watch this.
After being mugged in broad daylight, former Senator Barbara Boxer is speaking out after being attacked in Oakland's Jack London Square. As we first reported here yesterday, someone pushed Boxer and then yanked her cell phone out of her hand as she was walking in Jack London Square around 1 p.m. yesterday afternoon. Today, Boxer says the male who attacked her looked young enough to be a teenager.
You can't just come up to a little old lady and smash her down to the ground. I mean, that's just not right. So there's a lot of work to be done, but I've spoken to the mayor. I've spoken to Congresswoman Lee. I feel very optimistic that change is coming.
But I'm just a grandma. Why is a comedian telling you all this? The news is trying to hide Barbara Boxer getting robbed in Oakland by African-American teenagers from you. It's too bad she didn't live up to her name, Barbara Two-Piece Boxer. Here we have two teenagers, African-American, who are always victims when the police arrive, but it turns out, no, they're also often attackers. That's not to say all African-American teenagers are attackers. It's to say there are attackers who are African-American. The radical left cannot figure that out. So Gavin Newsom, Maxine Waters, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, they want to take away your police to fix the problem. How do you protest? Step 1, come to one of my comedy shows. It's a peaceful protest. We're taking our cities back. Step 2, get involved in your schools. Step 3, run for office. Step 4, do not vote for anything with a D on it until they change their platform. One that's suitable for Americans.
The owner of an historic San Francisco business caught on camera flashing his gun. It's video you'll see only on ABC7. Tonight, he explains why he's taking matters into his own hands to defend Chinatown. That dramatic video is from outside the Golden Gate fortune cookie factory.
Just push like this real quick. He did the first push real hard.
This brazen daytime assault happened Saturday afternoon. A man in the black sweatshirt singles out one of about a dozen tourists and attacks. We blurred the man's face.
The guy asked the black guy why he pushed me. He said, "Oh, because you're staring at me 2 blocks away."
What makes this story remarkable is what unfolds next. Co-owner of the factory, Kevin Chan, seen in the gray sweatshirt with green sleeves, immediately steps in and lifts up his shirt to reveal,
I have a concealed carry that needs to protect my business.
Just the sight of it is enough for the man in the black sweatshirt to leave. Send a message to local leaders.
Not to defund the police.
Police say a group of beauty store burglars in Santa Clara County might be tied to heists across the Bay Area.
In the last 6 months, this Ulta Beauty's been hit 8 times by thieves, but now the company is fighting back with crystal clear surveillance pictures of the suspects.
They don't have morals. They've got something lacking within themselves.
Morgan Hill police say on Tuesday, this group of cosmetic store crooks swiped up to $5,000 of perfume in less than a minute.
You know, hopefully they can catch the girls. And we're learning more about 2 attacks on members of the Asian American community. However, police are not yet calling the assaults a hate crime. The first one happened yesterday afternoon on Market Street in San Francisco. SFPD says a 59-year-old man was punched in the head several times while walking. Police say that man has life-threatening injuries. Another attack happened this morning on 7th Street in Oakland. Police say a 76-year-old man was punched in the face by another person who then walked away.
Union Square, many people are talking about this video. I mean, how could you not? Look at these 10 people running out of Neiman Marcus stores with handbags.
San Francisco officials are concerned incidents like this will drive other chain retailers away. We lost the flagship Gap in Union Square. If we don't deal with organized retail crime, I fear many other stores will close.
1 minute I was looking for parking, the next minute I stumbled upon a scene that's become all too familiar in Oakland's Chinatown. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw an Asian woman down on the ground, surrounded by a crowd of Foot Patrol volunteers.
I'm buying mango, and all of a sudden somebody grabbed my body and dragged me here.
Her purse had close to $300 in cash and her treasured jade bracelet. How old are you?
68. I'm gonna be 68 this year.
That is the same age as this Oakland man.
Salinas recently fell victim to the brazen beauty store burglary.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Thefts like this one has forced Walgreens to close 17 stores in San Francisco. Target is now closing some stores early in San Francisco because of thefts. The Retailers Association is hoping for a statewide approach on this issue.
This is the pair, but police haven't ID'd them yet, but hope it won't be long before someone gives them up. A woman in her 30s with a large Zia tattoo on her neck, pushing another woman in her 40s with one leg. The woman in the wheelchair has a bag to collect the merchandise.
Across the street at this former Jimmy Choo store, look at the broken out glass, and now look what's in the window, a for lease sign. They come here once a week.
The J Train beating is brutal. Fists flew both ways until they didn't. Eventually an Asian man passes out after getting punched, choked.
She grabbed a jug of like a 5-pound hand sanitizer and launched it at me while I was holding my son.
That's when owner and nearly 60-year-old Grandma Doris grabs whatever she can, including this table, to defend her family and her more than 30-year-old business.
Operating a small business is challenging enough as it is with the ever-changing restrictions. Some small eateries are now forced to make concessions.
All to keep customers happy.